I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Okay.
Yes.
John?
Here.
Jan?
Here.
Verna?
Here.
Myself? And Cheryl?
Here.
All present.
And we have one change to the agenda that I know of under number 11, the letter from the View Group. We can add that as 11.1. And do we have any other? Okay, can I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I move to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Okay, on to the minutes. Any changes to the minutes? Additions, deletions? Hearing none, minutes stand approved. And call to audience. Would anyone in the audience like to share any comments on the agenda? Okay. Director's report.
You have a written report. A couple of things I'll point out. Alyssa, Jesse, and I met with the newsletter designer. I do have a mock copy if anyone wants to take a look at it. But it's coming along really nicely. Lots of color, and the graphic artist is doing a really good job with adding additional things to it and just making it really visually interesting and packed with information. So, very excited about that. Our new contract, or not contract, but our relationship with the newspaper will save us about $3,056 a year and give us twice the newsletter that we did have.
You said 3,000?
It will save us about $3,000 a year.
Okay.
So we'll have 16 pages instead of 8 pages for our newsletter. And that includes postage and everything, graphic design and everything. So far.
And puzzles.
And puzzles. Not exactly. And you can use more images and all kinds. And so far the process is to get that transitioned over. So I think everybody's going to be really happy with it. Plus it saves us money. So. Our staff in-service day was a success. We did a fire drill and a tornado drill, and Kathleen ran that and threw in some zingers for us because we were making an announcement, and then she shut off the phone because, there's no power during the tornado. So now what do you do? So she did a great job with that, and we learned about AI, kind of scary, and AFLAC and strategic planning and it was a great day. We had some good food and played some games and good bonding. Citizens party, the Citizen Newspaper 30th birthday party went very well. Cheryl was there on the 17th, it was a Friday night, and they had, according to the door counter, they had 71 people attend, which is a good number. Not all at once, they were kind of in and out, so it was a good number for this room. Had some good food and everything went about, no problems at all. Streets and trails was a lot of fun. We had good weather. We upped our number. Last year we had 368 people. This year we had 412, so a few more people. A couple more booths this year, so hopefully it will continue to grow as the years go on. And then this week is FOL week. So if you see any of our FOL people, please choose. He's doing such a great job for us.
Okay, any questions for Laura? Okay.
I have a question. There's a reference to Kathleen, and you met with the Township Treasurer.
Mm.
They're going to help us set up ACH.
For our MERS payments, which is our retirement system. So MERS decided we got a notice they are no longer taking checks, and that's not something we can just change vendors for. So, and I kind of knew it was going to happen eventually, so we went back to the township and said, we got to figure this out. And they actually were very cooperative and said that they would do whatever we need to get that set up. So it's a start.
Good.
Yeah.
Jan?
When do we anticipate getting the first new newsletter?
This will come out December 1st. Well, probably the week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we try to get it out if there's a holiday week.
But
And it's November.
the new one will be, the next newsletter will be the new.
New format.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Very cool.
Bernard, any questions? I just have one question. I thought we had already looked into E-Rate several times, and for some reason we weren't participating.
We weren't participating because it's based on the free lunch program at the school. We didn't have enough free lunch participants for us to qualify for E-rate. Plus the amount of paperwork that to get a really small amount because of that reason wasn't worth doing. They've changed it. They've revamped the program, and then now they have a minimum dollar amount that you can get. That's actually probably worth applying for. I still have to look at our free lunch rates and see where we fall on that, but it might be worth looking at.
Yeah, we should fall pretty good on that because we qualify for the summer program. You have to have a certain percentage to qualify for that.
Yeah. So, hopefully.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, I just looking down.
Okay, trustee reports. Okay,
I had fun putting together a Christmas basket. I did that. I don't know, this is a strange month because I was ill 1 week with a migraine. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And then we had the car accident, but, so I had to miss a policy meeting. But, well, the holidays, so I was done it very quickly when FOL sent out we need 10 people to do baskets, so, anyways, so mine's called, Cozy at Christmas, so when you get a chance, take a look at it. I'm very proud of it. That's it.
thank you. Jen?
I did work at the Treats and Trails for the FOL at their booth. We offered goodie bags that Margaret had filled with goodies. And we also had free books, which was a big hit. We did it last year, so they got some candy plus free books, and we loved it. So we will continue to do that.
Okay, Jen?
I attended a webinar that came to all of us online. It was September 27th, called Library Policy Retreat for Boards, Intellectual Freedom and AI. What we've talked about this before. If you register, you don't have to go to it at that moment. So it should come, they always say it's going to come within a couple days, and it didn't. So I contacted the woman in charge, Beth Nowolinsky, and she said, oh, and she sent it to me right away. So what I did as I listened to this webinar was I focused on one item, and it kind of surprised me. It was on library meeting rooms. The First Amendment assures all people have access to a library building, any research, and all information. But currently, there are 12 lawsuits on legal issues of library meeting rooms, and the majority of the lawsuits concern religious groups. Most libraries have policies written for the use use of meeting rooms, as we do. Access to meeting rooms should be viewpoint neutral and content neutral. But still, it's the religious groups that are filing the lawsuits to use the library meeting rooms. But our policies must be applied equally to all groups, and we must consider that a group cannot be excluded on the basis of religion. So I found that very interesting in this webinar. And as we've said before, this was through Jurassic Parliament, and there's always a cost with that, but Michigan's covered, so it was free. So I did attend that, and I was glad I did it. You know, it only took me an hour or so to listen through. It was very interesting. So I encourage all of us to continue to do this. And as Kay, as you just read in chapter 10, we need to have continuing education for ourselves, and the director does too. So this is how I accomplished it this month.
Could you send that link to me? Because I signed up for it too and never
Yeah,
got the.
okay, I just sent it to you, Cheryl. I will send it to
Okay,
you.
thank
I
you.
did the same thing, I signed up and it usually comes right away within a week and
Yeah,
nothing.
and I kept looking for it, and when it wasn't there, I contacted her. So she was apologetic about that.
Okay. Kelly?
Reminder, I will not be here next month.
Okay.
And I got my 18-year-old in here to sign up for a library card, and he was super excited
Yay.
about all the services and the streaming services, and you guys have got new library user.
I showed up for the FOL after hearing about the accident, she contacted me. A little bit about their meeting and then what's coming up. Finance Committee report. They have about just over $16,000. They contributed recently, besides their normal contributions, to the staff lunch, and there's evidently a shelf in the staff break room that they paid for also. They seem to be doing very well online. And the holiday plans are multiple, you know, with few volunteers. Starting on November 24th, they're going to have the book bundle sale. It will be, kids bundles will be 12 books for $10, and adults will be 6 for $10. There'll be different themes and that kind of thing, and you can actually, they'll be labeled as such so that you'll know kind of what's in there. They're going to have 2 wrapping sessions that they need volunteers for, on November 11th from 12 to 2, and November 17th from 4 to 6. So if you can sign up for any of those, I'm sure it will be appreciated. The silent auction, which is the baskets, is going to be held from November 24th to December 12th. Planning on having 10 baskets. And the baskets are due to them by November 19th. And they're also going to have a raffle on the 12th. And I thought it would be, I know Kay has already put a basket together, but I thought it would be good if the rest of us on the board put a basket together. And they gave us some ideas. A wine lovers basket, they don't have anyone signed up for that yet, and that usually goes well. A toddler plushie basket, so things for toddlers. Or a Duplo, which is, they already have a Lego basket, but Duplo are the Legos that are bigger for the younger children. So, anybody have a thought on that?
I don't know anything about wine. Nothing.
Okay.
However, I do know more about toddlers and Duplos.
What was the third thing though? I wrote wine lovers, and the Duplo was the other one.
The other one was just a toddler basket.
Just
plushies, that
Oh,
kind of
plush,
stuff.
plushies. Okay.
And lots of wine entertainment.
You can't actually include wine.
Oh, you can.
You can't have alcohol.
So it has to be just,
That's what we were told last year. So we've done a wine lovers basket without wine.
Oh, no wine, okay. I thought I remember wine bottles being in it. but no.
Non-alcoholic,
Oh,
sparkling cider or something.
okay. I think I have that too.
I have a basket I could do. I purchased two on Amazon, and I already put the one together, but I've got another nice
oh, that would be
Christmas
great.
Yeah, that would be
basket
great.
that's quite nice.
Okay.
I can bring that in.
Shall we vote? Do we want to do Duplo or do we want to do the wine lovers?
I like the wine lovers, you know, there's so many things you can add, you know.
Glasses, books,
John, you've done this before. Which one do you think will go for more money, the toddler one or the wine? Because that's the idea, is to raise money.
Probably wine.
I have non-alcoholic
Okay.
wine.
Yeah, wine.
I have wine
Okay.
glasses.
Oh, good.
I have I made these wooden, it's hard to describe. You slide it over the top of the wine bottle,
Oh,
and you can hang your 4 wine glasses from.
oh, yeah.
I have a bunch of those at home that I've made a long time
Okay,
ago.
whatever you would like to donate, please bring it to the library front desk. Is that okay, Laura?
Used to, but I-
And just tell them it's for the board basket. And again, they have to be, let's say by November 15th.
I'll try to have the basket off this week. It's really nice, so.
Because then they have to be ready by the 24th. So let's get them in here by November 15th. And if you have any questions or concerns or whatever, give me a call. And the other thing that's going on for the holidays, on Saturday, December 6th, is going to be the holiday book sale that coordinates with Christmas in the Village weekend. And setup is on December 5th. And Margaret from FOL has sent out a sign-up sheet. So look for that if you're interested in volunteering for either Friday or Saturday. Okay, other than the FOL meeting, I attended Treats and Trails. Well, I actually worked at the library tent. It was great fun. Several people had dinosaur costumes. I did not.
Well, we were dinosaur hunters.
Right, we were the paleontologists or whatever. I also attended the citizen event, which really came off well, and heard from a number of people from the citizen that really appreciated being able to use the facility and how convenient it was with the kitchen and all of that. So we should probably give consideration to other events like that. And then I went to the staff in-service, and as Laura said, listened to the AI, and that was very scary. And also came back for the strategic planning. So that was fun. Great job by all. Thank you. Okay, anything else from the trustees? Okay, moving on, financial officers report, John.
Okay. The check registers first. There's, everything is pretty much standard, what we run into on a monthly basis. Probably the one thing that stands out is that the health insurance covers 2 months instead of 1, but other than that, it's pretty much your standard monthly bills. Any questions on the checkers?
Yes, actually, this is probably for Laura. MLA conference, who is DH and MD?
Danny and Mark.
Marley, that's what I figured, okay. Thank you, I'm glad they're going.
Anyone else on the check register?
No, but you reminded me, I did do the check register twice this month. I didn't put that in my report, but I did show up, right? I did show up twice.
Next, we have the balance sheet. not a lot of changes from the prior month. I did have a question about the artwork. When did the horse statue get donated? And has that been added to our balance sheet? You know?
We didn't think it didn't get added.
Okay,
We aren't really sure what it's worth,
okay.
so I'm not really sure how to do that. How to give value on that. So,
Antique roadshow.
and I wasn't sure, yeah, and I wasn't sure if it was enough to even include, If it's not enough.
We can check with the accountant.
Yeah,
I agree with you, I doubt that it's worth adding, but
Yeah.
I want to check anyway.
All right, and then last would be the income statement. Again, it's mostly standard monthly expenses. And everything seems to be in line with budget. Any comments or questions on the income statement?
I move to approve the September expenses of $87,053.33.
Second.
I'll second.
And we'll need a roll call.
Okay,
Yes.
Yes.
Jan,
Yes.
myself, yes, Brenda,
Yes.
Cheryl.
Yes. Okay, nothing new on budget amendments, correct?
Correct, nothing new.
Okay, on to our budget for 2026.
So, how do we go about,
Do you want to give a summary, Laura?
thank you.
Not a lot of changes. We did increase some areas, of course, because things just go up. But our income also went up. Some things to note are on line 98, we did add $10,000 to cover the costs for our 100th celebration next year. So that will include marketing, banners, signage, parties, all that kind of stuff. So we did add that in there, and that will also allow us, if we do get donations specifically for that, that will be able to have those in as well. So, other than that, it's pretty much regular expenses. We increased our food club budget, of course, because that's just a growing want from the community, so we want to make sure we have that covered. And then salaries, of course, went up a little bit as well.
Conferences.
Conferences went up. Now that we are far past COVID, things are starting to, people want to go again. And there's some good conferences out there, so.
And I'd like to bring attention on page 14 in the bottom right-hand corner. You see our percentages of expenses well within line with other libraries in the state. We've always tried to keep staffing and fringe under 60%, so we're well within that, and to keep materials at least 10.
And that still leaves us with a nice contingency of $167,500.
Any questions from anybody in the line budget? Okay. You want me to go ahead?
Do we have an action item for?
Yeah, because on page 19 and 20, you see the cost center budget, which is what we approved. while we look at the line item budget every month, Laura has flexibility within each cost center on how to spend the money. So we approve the cost center, and that's what she works from. And that's what you see in 19 and 20, which are the same numbers as you see in the line item budget. And you'll see on page 20 what is going on with the fund balance, what 2024 actual was, where we're at so far, and what proposed 2026 will look like. And mind you, that $167,000 is still considered contingency, so in case we need to use it during the year specifically typically for any type of a fixed asset or a major maintenance issue. So that's what the action items need to go.
To vote on
The cost
the
center.
cost center budget.
So I will entertain a motion if there are no questions.
I move to approve the 2026 cost center budget as presented.
I second it.
Okay,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Jan,
Yes.
myself, yes, Dana,
Yes.
and Cheryl.
Yes. Okay, on to committee reports, policies.
So the first few, Gen 6, the at-will employment policy, the emergency information form, Gen 7, personnel records policy, Gen 8, and the personnel records policy authorization and release form, as well, that's it. Those are all back from last month. The attorney had no changes to those, so unless the board has any additional changes, those are up for approval.
Does anybody have any changes to those three policies?
So it's 6, 7, and 8.
Yes, 6, 7, and 8.
Yep.
Do you need a separate vote?
If
for
not,
each?
I'll entertain a motion. You can do all three at one time if you like.
I move that we approve Gen 6, Gen 7, and Gen 8 as stated, as presented, and they will have a new date on them to make them up to date.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion approved. And on to the fun one.
Yeah.
Can't we just let the computer do this?
No.
Chat GPT, will you please read this policy?
So with new technology comes, a new policy that needs to outline this. So this is a policy for staff to kind of outline what is okay to use AI for, what's not okay, what things to think about when you're using AI, just to keep everybody on the same page. So this was a template from the attorney, and I modified it a little bit to make it more for us specifically. It's hard to write a policy about something you don't know a whole lot about. So I think it came out really good, and the policy committee has looked at it. I'm open to suggestions.
Okay, do we have comments, questions, Verna?
I do. Good work. Something that you didn't think you knew a lot about. I would like to point out so page 27, the procedure, all the way at the bottom, number 2. I think you've done a really good job of identifying, most of the things that we need. The only problem with, or the issue that I have with this particular one is we've identified a lot of specifics, but since this is all new and, we're developing a policy, I think if there are additional items, rather than just being approved by the administration, I think it should come to the board if there's anything in addition to what's already identified individually. That's the only change.
Or
Comments on
maybe
that?
where it says administration, you wanted to say and board.
Yeah, page
Yes.
27
Right.
on the bottom.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
Number 2 on the bottom of page 27.
Oh.
Where it says
Wait,
approval from the
wait.
administration, I think new items should also come to the board, so
Got
we
it.
can either add the board or, I think that would be probably the easiest, approval from the administration and the board.
What do you think, Laura?
I guess it depends on what, so AI tools are popping up, like, there's new ones every day, like, it seems like. So if the staff came to me, and, because we don't have them listed in here of what they can use currently, because of that reason, because it is changing literally every day. So that's gonna get to be a really long, expensive list, is my concern. I mean, there's hundreds of AI tools already out there. So I just don't know how practical that would be, to bring every single one of them to the board that they want to use.
As I read this, the sense I had is that, the definition, the ethical principles are stated generally enough that I don't think this would be something that would come to the board real often, because I think most of the things that I can think of, would fit into the existing items.
This is, I know you're talking about uses as opposed to the actual tool being used.
Right, exactly.
And this item is only talking about what tool they're using. It says AI tool,
Okay.
which I had read it wrong initially too.
Okay.
And number 4 covers the review, the periodic review to ensure ongoing compliance. And I recall.
When it talks about tools specifically.
Okay.
So you're talking more about the uses.
Pardon?
You're talking more about what they use it for.
Right.
Okay.
And Laura and I have had a long conversation about that. Well, not so long, but
Long enough.
I gave her. Wait a minute.
Intense?
No.
No, I went out and looked at some other, I had found a library presentation by some library IT guy from a very large library, and I don't remember exactly which one it was. And as part of his presentation, he listed some sample libraries that had AI policies already, and I went out and read those. And the thing I think we're missing in here, which I have several things, but the major thing is to identify as best we can and not be too restrictive on how these tools are to be used, for what uses. And I think some of the, I gave all the information to Laura so the policy committee can relook at it. But I think we need to add something about that. And I think that would take care of some of the questions that you had. Basically, how is it being used?
Right.
And
And I don't
That
think
makes
we
it-
need to give her exact language, because I think it needs to go back to the committee to look at.
Sounds good.
Other questions, comments, concerns?
I knew this would be messy.
I have a few.
I figured.
I don't know much about it either, so
Yeah,
it's
that's-
Hey, they're getting after me, I have to get after you, Jen.
yeah, that's fine. So my thought about what AI is that it would allow basically computers to do things that humans used to do. Maybe my definition is way out of line, but I don't see that in this definition. Because I would say that it refers to a broad field of computer science that can allow computers to perform tasks that previously required human intelligence. That's how I envision AI.
And the only thing I know about it was my daughter teaches at OU and their students cheat. I mean, they put something in and then they just slap their name on it. So here's my report. But I don't know anything else about AI except students cheating.
Well, the interesting thing, I think, from that presentation that was given at staff in service, she was from what, Berkeley schools?
Oakland University.
Oh, you?
She's at Oakland.
Oh, okay. She explained it, that it basically goes out and grabs information from like texts and emails and logs and that type of thing, but it's not research. So many people think it's research. It's not resources that it goes to. It simply goes to stuff that's out there, but not specific resources.
And it can be opinion.
So yes, it can very well be opinion. And that's why it's very critical, and it is written in here, that anything that's stated as fact has to be further researched to confirm that. That you can't rely on AI to tell you this is a fact. But yes, it can go out there and do things. I mean, my grandson was in college, was telling me one of the kids in his class takes his assignment sheet and feeds it in and tells AI, do my assignments, and it does. And show your work, and it does.
So how
And
does it do that?
he turns
That's the
that in.
question.
But it doesn't create anything.
No, it does not create anything.
The term intelligence is probably not the word that actually fits, because it's a fishing net, basically. So, you know, the computer or the language you put in
It's regurgitated information.
Yes, but selectively. So whatever you're researching, you send this out into the internet, and it captures, as you said, articles and books and conversations and classes and everything that would, you know, enlighten this particular subject. So it's not doing anything with the material. It's just saying, okay, you know, here's the basket, here's everything we found, now, you know, whatever you want to do with it.
But it could write you a book about it.
Pardon?
It could write you a book about it if you wanted it to.
But the book not be accurate.
Right.
Maybe, maybe not.
No, but students will still submit it, and that's their work.
But it does do things. I mean, it doesn't just give you facts.
But it's not
It-
creating new things. It's
No.
taking stuff that exists and
Right.
combining it.
Right.
It's like when it does images. She showed us some images. You know, she had asked it to do something like, it can go out like software does already, and it can adjust the lighting, and it can do this and that. Or it can add stock photos and things like that, but like, she asked her to create a certain photo and the guy's hand had 6 fingers. You know, it didn't recognize that that was wrong. It just picked up something and put it together and it had extra fingers. So, I mean, I don't know how to explain it in tech terms, but, you know, I think it's critical that, you know, if we put anything out there that says, you know, this is fact, that we certainly back it up. But if we're using it like Laura gave us an example that, you know, they were brainstorming some names for new programs they were going to have, or descriptions of the programs or things like that. Certainly they could do that. Because then that tool goes out and it finds all these suggested names. And then you pick from that, what do we want to use? Or you might say, give us a picture of cookies, or, you know, things like that.
Yeah, well, like I said, I think
But you're right,
we
it
need,
doesn't.
I think the definition needs to be worked on, in my opinion, but.
Well, we can do that, yeah.
Like, what are the major areas, again, the categories of misuse? Or things like we were talking about where you present work that's not really yours or whatever and say that you wrote it, but I don't know, like, the general categories of misuse.
I mean, I don't think it should be used for reference questions if somebody comes in and, you know, unless it's a date, you know, what date was the Revolutionary War started, whatever, fine. But if it's an in-depth question about, you know, people come in with health questions.
I was gonna say, what about medical advice?
You know, my daughter has a fever and a sore throat and this, you know, I don't think AI is the proper place to get, you know,
Yeah,
to get some kind of diagnosis for that. So
I did think of that, medical advice would be
yeah.
good.
So I think reference questions, it depends on the question, but in-depth reference questions are also should be used for. I should use other examples. Except this one that comes to mind.
Other questions, comments?
One other comment I have on page 26B talks about the staff must be trained in AI use. Has that been done, or is that going to be done before the policy gets put in, or?
They've had a little training at the staff. I would like to see more, probably in the form of some webinars. I have found some good ones, but there's so much out there right now. It's going to be tricky to find a good one that's not 12 hours long for the staff. But yeah, I think more training.
I just want to make sure we're complying with the policy when we put it in place.
Of course, yeah.
On page 27, C2, I think we should say that the library staff should actively attempt to identify and address potential biases. I don't think we can.
Where is
I
that?
think it's full 27C2
Okay.
Actively attempt.
to identify and address potential biases. Because the AI is going to get rid of hiding itself too.
I'm sure.
So,
It already is.
last prohibited uses, the last line, or number 3. I think it should be where it says select patron data, it should be personally identifiable data.
Say that
That's
again,
personally identifiable. That's really the issue.
instead of patron.
No,
Personally identifiable
patron data.
Oh, must not collect personal.
That's it.
Anybody else?
Just a concern or comment I have, on page 27, at the top, under usage, number A1, AI may assist library staff in enhancing library services and operations in ways that align with ethical standards. Who's going to judge that? Who judges whether it's ethical or not? Or if we can't trust AI to be ethical, or can we?
Well, we have our ethical principles on the previous page. On the version of the line.
I think it should just say with the library's existing ethical standards or something to that effect.
In ways that
Or just-
align with
Or
the
just library
library's,
standards?
Yeah,
the library standards. Take out ethical, or leave it in?
leave it in, I think.
What do you think, Laura?
I'd say,
Okay. The library's ethical standards, okay. That makes more sense to me.
Anybody else? I had a couple things. Under the summary policy statement, and this isn't exact language, obviously the policy committee can work on it. I think we need to say something in there that this is a tool and not a replacement for professional judgment. And I can give you the notes.
That'd be great. Yeah, give us your notes.
And under ethical principles, I think we just need a sentence in there that all usage aligns with with the library's existing professional ethics and organizational values. Before we list off the items.
Sorry, could you repeat that, please?
Aligns with the library's existing professional ethics and organizational values.
Thank you.
And then on B1, I think where it says AI generated content, we should have a indent that says including images.
Under B1,
B1 on page 26.
So, content including
Images.
images.
A lot of the AI things policies that I read kind of highlight to make sure that images are included. Again, we talked about in that, we talked about in policy about acceptable uses. And I think under staff using AI tools must receive training identified by director. I think we need to put that in there. That you need to identify what kind of training they need to get. And I'm not sure, it's kind of open-ended without putting a time frame in there. Obviously, we can't say before use because they're already used in some of it. So that's, I guess, under procedures as opposed to policy, you need to set that. And when they need to get training. And then on the very last item of the procedure, number 4, It says they must be periodically reviewed, but we didn't identify by who. I assume that's you, by administration.
Yeah.
Well-
Ideally, by policy committee and board, it would be in our rotation.
Well, this is the tools, not the policy.
Oh,
Did you say
Yeah,
there's
about the
building
tools.
Oh, the tools, oh, yeah.
So since you're
That would be me.
overseeing the selection, I think you need to deal
Right.
with compliance too.
Right.
Well, again,
You or whoever you assign, but
Mhm.
it says ethical standards, maybe would you want it to say to the library's ethical standards as we did above?
Yeah, you can say library,
Yeah,
library
that's
ethical
fine.
standards and policies.
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, anything else? Obviously, that will go back to policy and see again.
This will be enough for one session.
Yeah.
I would say that's a really good start.
Okay.
It's not an easy one to do.
No, not at all. Okay, Finance Committee. You're back on.
Back on. Finance committee. The restroom remodel date is the first item. You wanna take this one?
Sure. So we went back and forth with Northbound Contracting, picking out some tiles. We had a designer named Jesse, wonderful, and it was really great. The contractor's name is Eric, and then Jesse and the three of us really working with our meetings, and they really listened to me, which I really appreciated. I've worked with a lot of contractors that say, I want this blue tile, and they come back, here's your brown tile, and so anyway, but they were really great to work with. We really listened to what we wanted, and came back with a second array of tiles and things that were great up our alley. What we were looking for. So Cheryl was lucky enough to be here for that second meeting.
I just got to be here.
And she vetoed my hand dryers, but that's okay.
Hand dryers? No.
Yeah, I
Hand
wanted
dryers,
to,
no.
the hand dryers, the air dryers, no paper, but anyway. So we made some changes, some things went up in price, some things went down in price, and this is where we landed at $690.11. It's a big project, it's 2 full bathrooms, it's gonna look really great.
It's basically gutting them
It's
and starting over.
New lighting, new fixtures, new counters, new tile,
New.
and it needs it.
New partitions, everything.
Yep.
And no hand dryers.
And talk a little bit about how you chose this contractor or why.
We chose this contractor because we submitted, we asked for 3 bids. We went to 3 different contractors. I spoke to Catherine at Auburn Hills Library, she's the director there, they just redid their bathrooms. So originally I sent out an email to the DSLRT group and said, if anybody's done a bathroom, send me the contractor you used, if you like them or didn't like them. So Northbound came highly recommended. They said they were the easiest ones to work with. It's who Auburn Hills went with, and they did a really good job. She was very, very happy with the work they did, the communication, all of that. So she gave me a list, and I took some from the other lists, and I contacted about 5 contractors for bids, and I got 2. And the other one I had to beg for. They were the only ones that submitted the bid, asked questions, came in, measured, and had the bid to me within 2 weeks. So, so far they've just been really great to work with, and I really don't want to have to get other bids. Because I tried, and it didn't go well. But, so they've been great, and I would love to see the board approve. The contract needs to go to the attorney. The bid needs a few little adjustments, it's missing a few things. But if the board could approve the amount so that we can go ahead and get this scheduled. This does include $20,000 for the automatic doors. So $20,000 less than this, actually, that we'll be paying. $20,000 will come out of our grant money. And that money has to be spent by April. So, we need to get this going, pretty soon. So, if the board could approve the amount, then I can finalize the contract and finalize the bid and take this step out. And that would be great.
Do we need to add some leeway in here, like another 5,000 or something?
I don't think it hurts, just in case.
How about just not to exceed them?
Yeah. That's what I'm
Round it up to
thinking.
100?
Hmm?
Round it up to 100?
Yeah, why not? It's not very much, but I mean, at least it gives a little bit of, because there's always something that comes up.
Mm-hmm.
And that would give the 5,000, and then typically over 5,000 more would have to come back to us anyway.
Right, right. And we do have the money in the contingency, so we don't have to pull from anybody else.
Have you seen the Auburn Hills?
Yeah,
Is it really good?
it's nice.
Okay.
It's nice. Mm-hmm.
Do they have Android?
I don't remember, actually.
I have a question, what are automatic doors? I mean, you stand in front of it and it opens?
The ADA.
Yeah, it's the ADA doors for handicapped, they can push a button and go open.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Kind of
The
like
doors we
that.
have now are so heavy.
Yeah, they are.
And we got approved for the grant for those.
Yeah,
Mhm.
great.
I can do a motion that not
I
to
will
exceed
entertain a
$100,000, so that we can initiate work on, it. We need it.
To approve
To make
the
it
contract.
subject to the attorney reviewing the contract. And there were a couple of items that I brought up in committee that I think we want to make sure the attorney looks at.
Were you doing the motion, Kay?
Yes.
Can you repeat it?
Yes. I think, okay. Say we proceed with a budget not to exceed $100,000, and also that the attorney approves the language of the contract. Is that what you want to do? Something like that?
Subject to.
Subject to his approval.
Yep.
I second
Kate,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Jane,
it. Yes.
myself, yes, Bruno,
Yes.
and Cheryl.
Yes. Okay, on to signage.
So, if you remember, we had 4-phase sign plan that Shauna presented 2 years ago. And we did the inside signs, we did some outside signs, this is the last step. So this sign will identify the building from M15, which currently we have nothing identifying the building from M15. We do have the money in the budget for this project. So, Kathleen got an updated bid from the one from a couple years ago, so this is a current bid, because we figured it would go up a little bit. So the bid is for $6,947.12. And this would come out of our equipment and furniture budget line, which we currently have $12,000 in there.
And this is the same contractor that's done the other ones.
Correct, yeah, we want to ensure matches.
And I'm comfortable with that.
Mhm.
Any comments, questions? I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the contract for the outdoor signage, backside of the building, and it's about time.
Name of the contractor.
And through Signorama in Flint. Do we want to add money to this too, or do we think we're okay?
It was your fund.
For $6,947.12.
I'll second.
Kate,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Jan,
Yes.
myself, yes, Bruno,
Yes.
and Cheryl.
Yes.
two items that go together.
Mhm.
So the thought is that we would rescind the pay grade scale and replace it with what you see on page 41, or at least part of what's on page 40. So what you have on page 41, the second and third column are there for reference only, to get a feel for where all of these positions currently fall and where the average range is at other libraries. What we would actually be approving is just the third column, which is our proposed range for new hires within those positions. Want to add to that?
Jen, the reason we talked about it?
Go ahead.
The reason we were looking at this is we want to be able to retain staff, which is key in keeping all the operations and the programs and the history and all of that going. And some of our staff was all the way up to step 10 and had nowhere to move. Laura's hands were kind of tied with performance type raises and that type of thing. So this way, we think what we're doing is we're giving her simply at the discretion of the board, which would mean, oh no, that's for the director, but the rest of this shows that we're giving her a range to work with when she's hiring people. And that would of course depend on their education, experience and all that. And then we're giving her the flexibility within the budget on doing performance raises. And what we're also including in this, which you see the little note to the right, is this would also include a 2.5% cost of living increase from the current pay. And you'll see that the maximum and minimums have about a 10% range. But it's all to kind of shift the flexibility and the responsibility to the director where it should be for staff. Anything else, Laura? Questions, comments?
Maybe one thing to mention is that this does not show, as the pay grade scale shows, there's a maximum. So there, you know, as far as pay rates go, there's no maximum anymore. So I want everybody to think that that's how it is.
The maximum is
That-
whatever's in the budget.
That's for hiring.
Just-
That's why it's labeled as hiring
No.
range.
Here. Right now, we have maximums. In the new one, we do not. That gives the director the flexibility. She has to work within the budget, but then she gets to decide how to use that money.
Will this still come to the board when you're hiring somebody?
As far as what, their pay rate, it doesn't currently.
It doesn't currently,
No.
okay.
You just approve the position.
We approve the position only.
If it's not an open position, we don't have to approve it if it's an open position.
Yeah, okay.
And I would assume if she wanted to go outside of the range.
Then she would
come
have
to the
to
board.
come to us.
But I think that's a pretty generous range. I don't think that that's.
And you'll see what we also tried to do is the DSLRT averages, those are libraries our size, our area, that kind of thing, to show us based on these positions where everybody is. And this was as of what, 2024?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no,
Well,
2023,
23 is numbers.
because we don't have the 2024 numbers yet, or Oh, this is 2024.
Yeah.
We don't have, obviously, the 2025 numbers yet. So based on 2024.
They usually do the survey in October and we get the results in February.
So we can revisit this. We just want to, like I said, retain our staff and make sure that we're paying everybody fairly. You know, they're not going out and finding another job in the same lateral position for $10 more an hour or whatever. Questions? Concern? And I will entertain a motion.
We do one motion for the two, to rescind
Yes.
and replace?
So, do you want to make a motion?
Sure.
Okay.
I move that we rescind the pay grade scale and replace it with the 2026 starting pay scale as presented, which would exclude columns 2 and 3, which are there only for reference.
Can I get a second? Okay. Kelly?
Okay,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Jan,
Yes.
myself, yes, Bruno,
Yes.
and Cheryl.
Yes.
I will mention too, this does get us up into the minimum wage that starts for next year also. So, and then next year it's going to go up again. You'll see this again.
Oh, goody. And the 2.5 will be effective January, right?
Correct. Well, the first pay period of the year. So, that's
Okay. On to the ad hoc 100th anniversary committee. And who's reporting on that? Jan?
No.
So the plans are coming along nicely. We have a new volunteer, and he is coming in and scanning a lot of our photographs for the banners that we're going to have made. So he's been great. He's very, very excited about this project. And so that's coming along, and we're working on the other plans. But page 42.
Yes.
We have the 3 logos that our graphic designer came up with. She's the one that designed our original logo. And the committee has voted on the first one, which is the one that we all liked. Managers liked the second one, so. But the committee really liked the first one. So we thought we would bring it to you and see what you guys think, and hopefully you'll vote on that tonight. So you can start using it. It will come in our new winter newsletter. We're going to start promoting some of our 100 stuff. So, because that would be December, January, February. Right. So it'll include some of our 100 programs already. And we're going to get it approved, so we can start doing it.
I like the first one too.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
Not just the stars, but the flashes. It was exciting.
More celebratory.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's why I think I like that.
John? Which one do you like?
I like number 1.
Jan?
I actually went with the managers, and I didn't agree with the committee, but you know what, I like number 2, but it's minor. I can live with number 1.
I like number 1.
I really love number 1.
So do I. Did you want an action, or did you just want us to?
I put it as an action item just because you did vote on our original logo. It's up to you.
And I'll entertain a motion.
I would motion to accept number 1.
I second it. That's fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
is, no? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. That's fine.
Okay, we are on to the board evaluation responses. You all got the summary of the responses and charts, starting on page 43. And the ad hoc committee met. I was part of that committee also. And we have some evaluation recommendations to make. It's listed as an action item just because we thought it might be. But certainly we're open to discussion with the rest of the board because it has to do with training for the next year. So Jan, do you want to?
Sure. So you all received the 8 different areas that we evaluated ourselves. And it came obviously in the bar graph. And as I had said when I presented this to you a couple months ago, that the comments were going to be the most important part. We appreciate the comments that came in. I do want to give a shout out to Kathleen for all the work she put into compiling this for us. I know it was a lot of work.
Yes, thank you.
You did it all yourself, you spent lots of long
Say aye.
So the committee has come up with some recommendations for goals that we could work on.
And that's on page 59.
Yes, you all received that too. I did want to go, I'm not going to go over the 16-page evaluation, but I did want to go over this list of goals. And just be aware that we're not going to do all these at once. It could take a year, it could take even a little longer. These are recommendations, and I don't know if we plan to vote on them tonight, but it's something that we can keep in thought. Under general knowledge, we used to have a committee that worked with the new trustees, and in order to, we were having way too many committees. So we consolidated committees, and we no longer have a trustee, yeah, we don't have the mentorship. But if a new trustee ever wanted it, when we were pushing this mentorship, some trustees were saying, no thanks. So we backed off a little. But if there is a new trustee that ever wanted this, we want them to be able to request it. B, review role of board as policy makers versus managing operations. So yes, we work on the policies. We do not want to involve ourselves in the operations of the library. Board operations, we did not have a specific goal there. Advocacy, and we've been talking about this, Kay brought it up again tonight. We want to be more visible in the community and attend various community meetings, including the Township Board, Village Board, Lions, Rotary. And it's been brought to our attention, and I think we're going to do some of this too, is attend other library board meetings to see the workings of some of those, and even the DDA. And B, to make sure all trustees are on the same page when we are asked out in public, whether it be Vicky's or the gas station or wherever, and I have this happen a lot in classes that I attend, they ask comments of the board, such as book banning. I'd like us to have a session where we all can agree to answer in the same way as a board, not with our own feelings on something, but we really need to stand together as a board on this. Number 4, decision making, we did not have a specific goal. Number 5, strategic planning. As we begin a new mission statement, We would like to have some training or coaching to write a mission statement, a vision statement, and goals for a new strategic plan. Maybe do this in May or mid-2026. And we were considering Shauna, and we would bring her back and pay her to work with us again. She had done that before as an employee here, but we'd love to have her work with us again. So that's a possibility.
And that would have to be done after the community surveys were done.
There you go. Okay, number 6, policy making. To include, often we have, as in trustees, we don't know where to find the policies. So we would want to include a list of types of policies and where they're located and put that together in an orientation package for new trustees as we consider mentorship again. Finance, we do this constantly when we have a self-evaluation, but again, to provide additional training for review of financial statements, and I guess we have to deal with this one again, or that one, to train us better. Cheryl and John to train us. I always feel when I'm getting training on our finances, I understand it, but I could never understand it enough to teach it. So obviously that means I need more training. And we also put in here, and we've talked about this previously tonight, to encourage more active support of FOL fundraising activities and to have a board basket. And are we as trustees all members of FOL? Because
I
that's...
think we are now, right?
Are we?
Not yet.
Uh-oh.
Not yet.
Well, anyway, that's a goal.
Meeting this month, so.
That's good. That's a goal to be...
Remind her during the meeting. Oh, you won't be there, but Margaret will be.
Yeah, okay. So to be, all of us be members, I know the last time we went through this, I didn't realize I wasn't a member either. And I got called out on that, so that was taken care of. And number 8, professional development. One of the reasons I gave a report tonight on the training that I received online was to just give an idea. We want, besides a list of board training resources, we want to develop a better expectation of attendance at some of these. And maybe several times a year, not every single month, but a couple times a year, maybe every other month, to have each of us report for 2 minutes on something that we attended, whether it be in person or online. You can report on objectives learned. Like I said tonight, I learned about these lawsuits, which that blew me away. I had no idea that was going on with religious groups. Also, to continue ongoing trustee manual review with in-depth discussion on one item in each chapter. And Kay, you did that tonight, and I appreciate that. You said this is the one thing I got out of this chapter. And that's kind of, instead of just going through a chapter, that's what we want from now on. And you did it, so thank you very much. So this is where we are so far. Some of these we will put into place in the next few months. And it could take a year. So, comments, questions? Comments?
Well, I will make one comment. Like I said, I stepped up and helped on the committee, and I was very surprised that we have 6 board members and we only got 5 responses. So, whoever you are, step up and give us some comments on what we're deciding to do, if any of that works for you. Okay. Comments, questions, concerns? Verna, you were on the committee. Anything you think we need to know?
Yes, I think I'm the one that is not accounted for. I went online, I thought I had done everything right, but as I went through these, I remembered the comments that I had made, and I wasn't finding them. And so somehow,
You didn't probably hit the submit button correctly or something.
anyway, and that's when I figured out that,
Well, you participated on the committee, so that helped.
I'll be more careful now. So,
Thank you, appreciate it.
Comments on what we're thinking of, or
Anything you want to add or have concerns with?
do you want to think about it and come back next month to vote on some of the new training, or?
I think it's a good list.
So,
Do you want the committee to further investigate some certain training on some of this and move forward with that?
Yep, I think that's a good idea. And maybe pick the ones where, we rated ourselves the lowest first. Obviously, that's where we think we need more help.
Okay.
It's in the advocacy, strategic plan, professional development, where the group has a group we rated ourselves lowest. So, I guess I'd start there.
Do you want to just accept the recommendations for now, and then we'll move forward in the next couple of months to suggest some kind of training and get that on the schedule?
That's a good idea. I also think it would help if the advocacy part, if we get commitments, especially the ones that none of us particularly belong to, but make a commitment to reach out to some of these organizations.
Okay. So review this, think about what you might want to do, and we'll go from there. We'll look for volunteers next meeting.
do we do that with motion?
I think we can just accept it.
Okay. Works for me.
Okay, the board recommendations are accepted. And we move on to communication. And you have all been given a copy of the letter that was received from the review group, thanking us for their anniversary celebration. So you can review that at your leisure. No unfinished business, no new business. On to staff reports. Okay, Verna, comments, questions?
Let's see. The band book display that we had, I had somebody from our neighborhood who brought that up, and they really appreciated that particular display. And on page 63, Danielle's last item, bubble science. I think that's something I want to find out about. It sounds interesting, but then, yeah. That's all I had.
Helen?
General question, because I saw it in the check register, how Baker Taylor is done? Will we still be paying them?
We'll pay them for anything we get from here on out. And, yeah,
Are we anticipating?
there's still some stuff trickling in. So the way it's working right now is if they have it in stock at their location in, I think it's Ohio or Illinois, their closest one that they pull from for us, we'll still get those books if they still have them. If it's something they have to order from a publisher or whatever, we're not gonna get them. So, yes.
Are you in danger of double dipping?
For
Getting a
example.
book from Baker and Taylor and from Ingram?
No, because we get a pretty regular, we can go on there and see what's been canceled before we order anything else. So I'm sure that they're checking those lists.
Okay. Cool. And then the other thing I wanted to say is that some of these soda flavors sound disgusting. That's it.
Okay, Jan?
This Baker and Taylor going out of business just is crazy. Does this have to do with tariffs? Could that be why?
I'm not sure what happened. It was up for sale for a little while, and then somebody bought it, a company bought it, and then they backed out at the last minute, and I guess at that point it was too late for them to turn back.
Jeez.
But they've been in business since the early 1900s.
Yeah.
So, and library, I mean, that's all I've ever ordered from, well, Ingram and Baker and Taylor, and so my whole career has been Baker and Taylor. So it's, yeah, it's kind of the end of an era. And very sad. I'm not sure what happened financially, what happened.
I'm just amazed. Every month, we get more pages. There's 8 full pages of activities that went on in this library, and that to me is amazing. I wish Sarah was here because I learned a new word. She sounds derpy. What is that?
Derpy.
Derpy.
It's a bit derpy. It's
It's a real word?
it's like nerdy.
Oh.
It's like derpy.
I've never heard of that word before. Alyssa, no parade? This year, no parade for us?
No, so Laura and they made the route longer.
Uh-huh.
So if we were to walk it, we were going to struggle more. We struggled last year to keep up. And they're kind of encouraging more floats than walking, just because the route is longer and to keep the pace, because we were not the only group that fell behind last year as walkers. So they are still accepting walkers, but we are participating instead by doing cookie decorating here in the warm library. And I still go to all the meetings and I represent us, and so, you know, we're still part of it, but yes.
Are they requiring all the floats to be lit?
Yes, and they have like increased the requirements for lights and things, so it would be quite pricey as well, I think, for
It
us to
was
do a
so
float.
dark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They do have a lot of great changes.
Good.
And no cars parked on Mill Street because they didn't block that off last time so people couldn't see. They're gonna try to have the businesses lit up more just so people can see better. So they learned a lot from last year.
I do feel that next year we should have a float. So.
Do you have a truck? Because that was the other issue. The other issue.
You wouldn't
we
want
had.
to use my truck.
Yeah.
But I had built floats
Yeah.
before for this particular.
Sounds like she's volunteering.
I'm volunteering to work on it, yeah. I would love us to begin it again though. I was very pleased that Fran was able to get her $2,000 grant for Steps and Stories and continue that. She had a staff pick book, The Unraveling of Julia, and bless her heart, I asked her about it and she said, just a minute. And she said, let me go find it for you. And then she checked it out for me, and it's just, everybody here goes over and above what they need to do. And I appreciate that so much. And I started reading that book and I was like, oh my gosh, it's great. Anyway.
Did you finish it yet?
No!
Because I have it on reserve, so get it.
I'm here! No, there's 2 copies, so maybe somebody else will bring it.
Oh, well, maybe they have.
Yeah. Glad that Jesse is, I think he's feeling better about statistics, because I know that's been an issue for him all along. But I'm just always, again, so amazed at all the activities here, and they just are so many. And all the sessions are so good. I've never been to a derpy session here. The one on vampires was like, oh, okay, I'll go. It was fabulous. She's amazing. It was fascinating, and who knew? So, anyway, so glad to be involved. Okay, I'll shut up.
John?
Well, I echo what others have said, and I always love reading this, and I say that every month, but it's true. But as I was reading it, and of course, toward the end of the packet, what came to mind was continuous improvement. And I worked at a company that preached that and practiced it a long time ago, and they went on to win the Malcolm Baldrige Award. But I haven't seen that again until here. And everything that gets done is about improving. The board monitors itself, and we're trying to improve. The facilities are getting upgraded constantly. The decor and decorations are getting upgraded. Our programs, everybody evaluates their program. What went well, what got attended, what can we do better next time. And that is a rare culture to find, and it's a testament to the staff and the management. So thank you all.
Okay, I don't know what else I could say. As always, it's diverse in scope. They're interesting, they're fun, it makes learning fun. I'm proud to be here.
Oh, that's great.
I echo everything too. I mean, I love reading this stuff. It's fabulous. I have a few questions because I'm not totally knowledgeable in libraries. What is Canva? I read it when I was looking up all the AI stuff. They were talking a little bit about Canva.
Canva is it's a software. I guess it's kind of like a software that you can use to design graphic design, do graphic design, so flyers and posters. We use it for our ads for the newspaper. So it gives you color palettes and images that you can use and fonts and stuff.
Does it use AI?
They have a new AI feature, but I don't think any of us use it. We use it like specifically for the design feature. We're not using it like to write documents and things. I think some companies do use it for that purpose, but we use it for the design.
Okay. And I love the comment from Taylor, and I'd like to know more on the Bikes with the Board. It wasn't what I was expecting.
Well, hold on, let me get there.
She's like, what did I say?
Well, I just wanted to know if she expected something different, or if it was okay, and if we're planning on doing it again, we want input from staff too, on how we can improve it.
The quote, it wasn't what I was expecting, was not a negative. I thought it was more, because, we had that semicircle that we all sat in. I thought it was more like, we're going to be like standing and mingling. But I mean, I like the food. Sarah did a great job putting that together. I did get, I felt like I answered a lot of questions about, what I do here and what the board can be doing better, and I like answering those questions. So it wasn't a negative comment. It was just like, I thought it was going to be like, how's the weather? Kind of a thing like, oh, you enjoy baseball? Me too. That's what I was thinking it was going to be. So not a negative towards Bikes with the Board. That's, if that calms anybody.
I think the one I attended was like what you expected.
Okay, so you did talk about baseball.
The first one.
Well,
Yeah.
we always try to.
We did find that, yeah. They were all very different sessions.
They were all because I attended all of them, and they were very different. They kind of progressed from being very personal. The last one was less personal and more about things that go on with the board and with the library, more operational, I think. It was just kind of the group that got together and what kind of came out. We kind of left it pretty open. It's
it's just kind of how each one evolved. So I don't know if we need to set some,
We did a little survey. We surveyed all the staff just to get some comments back and see how everybody felt about it. And the managers talked about it, and we would like to continue it. We probably will set, not really parameters on it, maybe a little more structured, maybe some conversation starter cards or something like that to keep it a little lighter, so it doesn't feel like an interview. I think some people felt like it was a good job interview when they were there, and that's not really the purpose of it. We just want everybody to get to know everybody. So I think we will be continuing on just a little bit different next time.
and I asked a lot of questions, so it's probably me. But because I read all of these and it tells me a lot, I still think, well, what happened here? Or how did we decide on this? Or, it's just a curiosity, not that I'm evaluating or judging. It's just kind of a curiosity on how does all of this work. And in the last session, I know I asked a lot of questions because it kept getting quiet. So I was like, okay, I'll let. So no, we were not evaluating or judging. And I would like staff to ask more questions about what we do too.
I learned quite a bit in the last session about TAB that I didn't really know the ins and outs and everything that they had done. So I enjoyed hearing about that, I'll say.
Well, and I think it helps us to evaluate how the strategic plan is working too, if we know more about how the internal operations happen. But yes, I think I speak for the board that we would like it to continue. I enjoyed it.
I did too.
Okay, any other questions or comments on staff reports? Okay, on to statistics. Talk more about what was going on, because I know the last time I heard you were changing to the Monday thing.
Oh yeah, that didn't work out.
So that was the month probably that Jesse included it in his staff report,
Oh,
that there
yes.
were like all these issues.
Yes.
That's because we tried to use Monday's statistic tab, or I'm not sure the correct word
AI?
for it. No, it was not AI, but like the Monday software tabulated everything, and it just did not work out. Youth programs were in adult programs and vice versa, and programs were forgotten to be counted by the software, not Jesse. So we just went back to our old way of poor Jesse having to tabulate things himself, but it just works better.
It's more accurate.
Yeah, there's less room for error.
So I will point out our library card sign-up month was in September, and we had 173 cards. As compared to August, we had 62, so it's a big jump for that. We market all of that, and it worked, apparently. Our locker pickups are continuing to go up. We had a couple days that it was down last week, but it's back up and running now. Study room continues to increase. Our computer numbers are really high this month. I was a little surprised. Last month, 673 on the wireless. This month, 883. So it's quite a big jump. I don't know if it's because the weather's getting colder, or I'm not sure why that is, but wireless prints continue to go up, so that was a good decision there as well. Overall, it's pretty good.
And it looks like the use of our computers went way up too, besides the wireless.
I do have one question. My personal experience, I usually, I listen to a lot of audio books, and I don't use Hoopla a lot because I know that, you know, if I borrow it from Hoopla, it's gonna cost more money. Okay. So I kind of pay attention. But this month, it just so happened that, you know, the end of the month, and it tells me I've used up all my books available. So when did it change from 10 books a month to 6?
For Hoopla, last year.
Okay.
Yeah, because our Hoopla budget was getting out of control.
I'm fine with that. I just, you know, a surprise.
Yeah, and 10 was a very high number. It will appear it's 3. Most libraries it's 3 or 4 or 5, so even 6 is a pretty generous.
Well, as I said, I usually, what's the other, Libby. I mean, that, I always start with Libby, you know.
We tried Blackstone too. Have you tried?
I've tried it a couple times, but there, you know, when I was looking for something specific.
Okay.
You know, so.
Blackstone's our audio, isn't it? Yeah.
It's all audio, you don't have to read them.
It doesn't look like we're getting a lot of usage there.
Yeah. They only hold with certain publishers. So I think that's exactly what happens, is they're looking for something specific.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever found anything just keep living coming.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions, comments? Okay, calendar review. In November, we will have election of new officers. So come with your nominations. And if you are nominated as an officer, have an idea whether you accept the nomination or not. And we'll also be redoing committee assignments for Policy and Finance Committee. So if you have a particular committee you would like to be on, please email me and let me know. And open to public comment. Any comments? Okay, nothing on hold. Items for next agenda, we'll relook at the AI policy and board training. Anything else for next meeting? Okay, then we are adjourned at 6:43.